All right.
Council President Ela Rivera.
Present.
Also attending the meeting are Senior Deputy City Attorney David Carlin, Independent Budget Analyst Charles Modica, and myself, your Deputy City Clerk Jennifer Berry.
Okay, thank you, Deputy Clerk Gary. If you would please lead us in the invocation, and then that will be followed with the land acknowledgement and Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilmember Lee.
Grant those who hold office in this city the spirit of wisdom, charity, and justice, that with steadfast purpose they may faithfully serve in their offices to promote the well-being of all people.
Thank you. We'll start with the land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that the Kumeyaay Nation are the original inhabitants of the unceded land now known as San Diego. Despite enduring the horrors of genocide and colonization, the Kumeyaay spirit remains unbroken. We honor the resilience of their ancestors who fought to protect their culture and land. Today, they carry their legacy forward, ensuring that their traditions continue to thrive in gratitude and strength. We stand with the Kumeyaay Nation, connected to our past and committed to a thriving future. Well, if you'll please face the flag and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I will now go over how the public can offer their public testimony during today's meeting. If you are in person, please complete a speaker slip located at the entrance of chambers and place it on top of the box indicated at the high lectern at the front of the room. Please submit your speaker slip in a timely manner to ensure proper meeting management. No further in-person testimony will be taken once the council begins virtual testimony. If you would like to participate virtually, you can do so via the webinar information found on the agenda cover page. Members of the public who wish to provide virtual testimony must enter the virtual queue by raising their hand by either dialing *9 or pressing the raise your hand icon before the queue closes. The queue will close when the last virtual speaker finishes speaking or 5 minutes after in-person testimony ends, whichever occurs first. For meeting management purposes, speakers will have 1 minute per item and up to a maximum of 3 minutes if there are 3 or more items in the closed session agenda. First, we have conference with legal counsel, existing litigation pursuant to California Government Code, Section 54956.9 D1, CS1, Jeremy Allen Walsh et al. Versus City of San Diego, CS2, Lillian Smith versus City of San Diego, CS3, Lauren Brickley versus City of San Diego et al., CS4, Joan Savarisi versus City of San Diego, conference with labor negotiators pursuant to California Government Code Section 54957.6, CS5, City Designated Management Team Representatives, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation pursuant to California Government Code Section 54956.9 D1, CS6, Denise Simmons individually and as personal representative of the estate of Mark Wolf versus City of San Diego et al., CS7, City of San Diego versus Grand Del Mar LLC et al., CS8, Orion Construction versus the City of San Diego. It looks
Please proceed with public comment.
looks like we have 2 speakers here in chambers. Our first speaker is Joy Sonata. If you want to go ahead and come up and let me know which items you are speaking to.
Thank you, Deputy City Clerk. I will be speaking to all 8 items.
Okay, I will put 3 minutes on the clock. Go ahead and start.
Joyce Sunyata, District 3. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. On consent agenda tomorrow are 6 litigation settlements to be approved, totaling almost $1 million. And as many of our public speakers have said, these types of claims are repetitive. Look at this agenda. 8 items on it. What is wrong with this picture? What is wrong with this picture? With CS5 labor negotiations, how can we give our employees better tools and a system that creates excellent customer service? Because if the system fails them, then look what else happens. CS1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. 1, property damage. 2, contract breaches. 3, trip and falls. 1, bicycle fatality. In my opinion, what is wrong with this picture is that we need to rebuild the very foundation of our core structure, which will take deep collaboration between our council and our mayor. This is tough work. It took me 4 tries to write these comments, and I still didn't feel done or completely good about them. Yet together is a better way to get the tough work done now. Thanks for listening, and love to all. Here we go again.
Thank you. Our next public speaker is Rob Brown on item CS5. You have 1 minute. Please proceed.
Morning, council members. My name is Rob Brown. I'm a representative with Teamsters Local 911, the Lifeguard Union. What I'll be speaking on today is presumptive healthcare coverages that I believe are being covered in labor negotiations. I wanted to first state that lifeguards are members of the fire rescue department, and California labor law actually entitles everybody in a fire brigade to have the presumptives that are laid out there. I don't know why it would be any different for us than it would be for any other first responder. The city's legal counsel has in the past said that this doesn't apply to us. We respectfully disagree and will continue to go up against this. Wisely, past councils have also disagreed and granted us some presumptive coverages. While cardiac and cancer coverages are important, we look forward to addressing these issues going forward. The issue today before us is the coverage regarding PTSD. First responder PTSD statistics indicate that roughly 1 in 3 first responders has post-traumatic stress disorder from the job that they do. And first, thank you.
Thank you. We're going to now turn to our virtual queue. I'm going to set the 5-minute timer here in Chambers. Our first public speaker is the original. If you could please let us know which item or items you would like to speak to.
All state.
Okay, we'll go into 3 minutes on the clock. You may proceed.
So, as we know, there's even going to be more items coming forward from property damage from flooding. And the hope is that you guys make up for the negligence that's taken place in the city for not keeping up infrastructure and things of the like that you should have been, that hasn't been done for years. And these trip and falls, just like Joy was saying, I mean, how many, like this, it doesn't look good when we're constantly going through litigation due to, again, negligence for not keeping up with the infrastructure and making sure that if you want people to be walking and biking, that you're going to provide the, safe sidewalks and whatnot to do that instead of neglecting it and having to pay more out in litigation on a regular basis. Because if we're still having people come forward with cases, it's showing that you're not doing your due diligence and making sure that these sidewalks are in good condition. And it's sad to see that man just come forward and talk about PTSD and then be shut off with that short minute, of being able to talk about that, because first responders do go through a lot of PTSD just from their job and what that entails. But when you're talking about cancer and heart disease and that being a presumptive illness, when you're forcing everybody to get vaccinated, and those are side effects and or adverse events that come from taking these shots, you should really be thinking about whether or not that is in your best interest to be mandating somebody to take something that is putting their health at risk. for it to be that shouldn't be a presumptive illness. That shouldn't be something that you're just thinking that everybody could have. But if you're negating the fact that it is caused by these vaccines, and it's been happening on a massive scale, then you're causing more negligence and not doing you're doing a disservice to your employees by putting them in a position where it's going to cause such terrible things to their bodies just to be able to work for the city. And as far as this fatal bike accident goes, you need to be thinking about if that was someone in your family, and making sure you make it right for this family, even though money doesn't ever really make things right. But being responsible for the death of somebody is pretty extreme, and you need to make sure that you're mitigating it in a way that is going to make up for what's happened. And then as far as breach of contract goes, for those two, this is always happening in the city. It's just it's telling of what actually goes on. And it's sad that the people are the ones that are having to pay for the negligence that goes on in the city. The people shouldn't have to be doing that. It should be on a personal level for those who are involved, because then when it is and it comes out of your pocket, you're going to be damn well sure that it's not going to happen again.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Blair Beekman. If you could let me know which items you're going to speak to.
Hi, Blair Beekman, all the items.
Okay, we'll have 3 minutes on the clock. You may proceed.
Thank you. Blair Beekman, happy Monday, happy beginning fall quarter to ourselves. It's nice to hear everybody and to hear a good public comment this morning. Thank you. I wanted to offer that more kind of a procedural matters that once again, thank you that your closed session agenda items speak very clearly, give a very good basic summary of what the items will be about. And the fact that you put items together, several items like around trip and fall issues, it's helpful. It's really helpful to understand that, and that's offering good practices and what we can improve upon for our future for ourselves. Thank you as a government for doing that. I hope you can continue that sort of openness and accountability with the process. It's really, really important and helpful. With that said, I've noticed that you have something of a consent calendar agenda for the closed session today that you'll be working on. I'm on a bus right now. Sorry about that. That you have a consent calendar, a process for the closed session agenda. That's a first. I haven't seen that before. Can you at some point give a report back to the public in the next month or two how this sort of consent calendar process is working for yourselves within the closed meeting process? Is it helpful? Is it more efficient? I know we had those sort of questions at rules last week, and good luck how we address the future of consent calendar items. It's a bit of a touchy issue at this time. Good luck how we navigate through this together as a community. Thank you.
Thank you. That now concludes public comment on the closed session agenda.
All right, thank you so much. With that, we will adjourn into closed session and reconvene open session at 2 p.m. Thank you, everyone.